So good morning, friends. It is accounting only. So kindly recall the discussion. We are just making a beginning on to why there could be disagreement in trial balance. It could be on account of errors. And at the same time, I was asking the question, if a trial balance is fully agreeing, can we say that it is error free? So therefore, we have concluded that. So Sanjana, are you? I'm just reading your message that you are not able to join.
No, so that time I was not able to join.
Okay, okay. Soumya, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So understand one important thing is that errors may be there, still trial balance may agree. So errors not affecting the agreement of trial balance we have seen as principal error, principle of originating error, compensating error, complete omission, duplication error, posting error where account is wrong, side and amounts are correct. So in the case of errors affecting the trial balance, the remaining errors, whatever error that you feel like it is an error. So rest of these will be affecting the agreement of trial balance. Until the matter is resolved, we will keep it in suspense account. Suspense account has got no classification. Institute might say that it is to be taken up under nominal accounts, as she was just referring about. But the problem is that having made a commitment or committed statement, when we start using the suspense account for the purpose of rectification, we will not be in a position to apply the rules. That is the problem. So it is not that we do not know. I also learned it like that only. But as I told you in the class that I will be trying out something a little different, and that extra learning that you got to have, that will make the difference between others and you. Others might say that it is nominal accounts. It's not. It is not necessary that I got to classify in one of these three. I can keep it a little away. See, you all seen the belief that in a particular religion carried in a particular way. See, after 1,000 years and many years later, there's a person who disputed that and he brought a new culture. It's all happening. So the latest one that had happened, he had the confidence that the forefathers, whatever they have said, they're not. He proved. I am leaving it to your best judgment. Very recently, 2-3 years back, it was 1,000th year was celebrated. So you can judge. So what I'm trying to say is that what is being conveyed that it is putting on a nominal account, I say it's not nominal account because it is not bearing the characteristic feature of debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains, because it is not resolved and the differences are very many. It may affect personal account, it may affect real account. Therefore, you should have the conviction to say that it is not to be classified, because if you put it under any of these heads, then you have got to follow the rule. I am not in a position to follow the rule. So, for example, if auditor is going for an audit, where every person in the factory or in the organization has got to be in uniform, how do you expect an auditor to be in the uniform? He is not associated with that. He is also a person. Because when I did my articleship, I had this problem. So a person was just asking, why you are not in uniform? I said, why should I? Then he asked me, how dare you ask this question? Do you know who am I? You should only tell. Why should I know about somebody? No, I am the HR. Then I said, you do not know whether the person is an employee or not, but you are talking very great. Ah, then who are you? I'm not auditor. Sorry, sorry. Then I said, don't create a sort of a hype. See, always good to be humble. No. So let's not put it in any of these three and break the rule. It's better to keep outside the classification and we employ according to our convenience. Now we will see those items. So on the other day, I was just referring about partial omission, casting and posting. In posting itself, we had a lot of subclassification. So set theory also was introduced. And in differentiation also we'll be connecting to our commerce. APGP also will be connecting it to commerce. That is what I just felt. Mathematics teacher not knowing about commerce and accounting. Majority of the places. And commerce and accounting teacher is not knowing about account, whether it's mathematics. That is also another problem. But students have got to learn both. Yesterday we were discussing about that problem, that problem. I just released one video on that day. Yesterday, I just sent you one YouTube version. It's just I thought, okay, we'll just do that. Generally, I used to do for taxation. So come to the conclusion that suspense account is not to be classified under any of these three heads. It will be kept outside because it will not follow any rule. By default, you have got to debit or credit. If the other account is credited, I will debit suspense account. That is the way we have got to conclude. Okay. So posting error is of these many types. Do we have any other error like this, which will affect the agreement of trial balance? So even though, yeah, partial omission already taken up. Partial omission, casting error, posting error, and one more error also I will put it this way. So instead of putting it out under others category, commission. What do you mean by commission? It is not del commission or commission on sales. Commission means committing. Any other act of committing any error is commission. We will put it under that head. Now, we should all be understanding one important thing. I remember when I was just in the school, we had one movie by name Varumai Sigappu. That is, the color of poverty is red. That is the title. Varumai Sigappu. So where they were talking about unemployment in that particular movie. A person who did MA prepared to take up the job of a porter in a railway station. He will pick the luggage of the heroine. And while he was walking, he will fall. Not by hitting some object and all that. He will faint. So the passenger engaged this porter is not knowing what to do. Since he carried the luggage, did not take the money, so she had the courtesy to take him to a doctor. The doctor will prescribe medicine. What medicine? He had not taken breakfast. So two idli, something like that he had prescribed. She was just looking, what is this? He had not taken breakfast. That is the reason. Correct? So you can understand that some of the children will be very thin or will be very obese. Some of them will be size only. Why children? All human beings like that only. So if a child is very thin, normally we will conclude that it is undernourishment. Undernourishment. How to rectify? Nourish it properly. Malnourishment. Obese children. So you got to reduce the fatness level. So it is when it is underdone, do it. When it is overdone, reverse it. Correct? No. When it is over debited, what is the remedy? Credit. Over debited, credit. Over credited, debit. Under debited, under credited, credit. You know it, no? See, when you can apply in red is a color of poverty, undernourishment, malnourishment, overnourishment, for which you are in a position to provide a remedy, not related to our subject matter, common sense only. What is matter related to our studies? The effect is going to be like this. That is, cost will be only for over debit, over credit, under debit, under credit. So these are the costs, or I would just say problem. What is the remedy for this? For over debit, credit, over credit, debit, under debit, debit, under credit, credit. That's it. You don't have to have two different opinions. This is correct. So, how do you know that suspense account should be used or not? When you rectify an error, how do you know that while rectification you got to use suspense account or what? How do you know? Can you just give me a reply for this? How do you know that this error will call for the usage of suspense account? How do you know it? No, I think I have not made the question clear. You have a trial balance not agreeing. You have set of errors that they have identified. You have got to rectify. While you go for rectification, how do you know that to rectify this error, suspense account should be used or not to be used? How do you know? Shreya, on what basis you will come to a conclusion? Okay, suspense account will be used, suspense account will not be used. On what basis you would conclude? You have not followed my question. See, I got a trial balance. Trial balance not agreeing. I am putting that difference into suspense account. Okay. And I got few errors identified after finding this trial balance not agreeing. Now, these errors are got to be rectified. Taking up one particular error, how would I know that this error will call for the usage of suspense account while rectifying or not requiring the usage of suspense account? On what basis you will come to a conclusion? Was my question. Got the point? No? Tell. Yes, Arvind, you can also try. Sanjana, you can also try. Soumya, you can also try. Come on.
Sir, if any account is over debited or over credited, we can use suspense account now.
Okay, you are only giving a suggestion. Soumya?
Yes, sir.
Right. It is not about over debited or over credited or under debited or under credited. It is not like that. Very simple. If you see that error which caused difference in the trial balance, while rectifying that error, you got to compulsorily use what? Suspense account. If you feel that an error had not caused difference in the trial balance, while I rectify that, I should not be using suspense account. Simple as that. That is the reason as why you have firstly classified them into two as errors which will not affect the agreement of trial balance and errors will affect the agreement of trial balance. So that is a very basic reason as why we have classified that. So what is that first thing that you should do by reading the error? What is that you should do? Question yourself as whether it will affect the agreement of trial balance or not. What is that you should do? Inquire. Inquire.
Sir, can you press on the screen?
Yeah. So always we forget it. Okay. Sanjana, you please just, Soumya, you please just remind me, because we don't have that
Okay.
instinct of doing it. Okay. So I will tell you where exactly I just made this changes. So today I made a change here. I have included commission there as part of my induction. So in the last class, you are not seeing this commission. Please just put that commission there. And then today I've just taken up this particular table. Make note. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Welcome, welcome. So inquire whether the error causes difference in trial balance. Yes means use suspense account. No means do not use. Inquire whether the error causes difference in trial balance. Yes means use suspense account while rectifying. If no means not, do not use suspense account for rectifying it. This is the first thing that you got to read. That is, first read, understand, and all that I am not taking up. Say, if you strictly say read the problem, understand the problem. If you don't understand, read the problem once again. That I am not bringing up. So I take it for granted that you are understanding the scenario. Inquire. Then what is the next thing that you got to do? What is the next thing that you got to do? Come on. Identify the problem. This is the problem. Identify the problem. That is over or under debit or credit. This could be the problem. No, anywhere there should be a problem like this. A person was just chasing me nearer my home. What do you mean by chasing? He was just telling, why not you join this particular association? They will put you to some amount of process where you can reduce your weight, is what he was just telling. I said, where did I complain that I am overweight? I'm correct weight only. No, sir, you look. Go and consult eye doctor. Problem is not with me. Did I complain? You understand? I was overweight only. But he wanting to sell something. Fat person, he is just identifying. I said, better try somebody else. No, sir, that will be good. Where did I complain that I'm not having good health? I don't have BP there. There is no sugar. What else you want? No, sir, we have to be very flexible. This, that, and you said. Then I said, how flexible you are? No, I was weighing 111. Now I am just 88. He was just telling this, that, and all that. I said, touch the ground by stretching your hand, bending towards forward, bending forward, touch the ground with your hands without bending your knees. He said, he was not in a position to even touch his knee. Then you can you guess what I could have just done? No, what I told, I have demonstrated to him. I can touch half a foot below the platform. So whatever requirement I was just telling him, only touch, but I can keep my palm on the ground. I cannot show them. Sanjana and Soumya cannot just, no, I will just show you. But the problem is, People will always be, and another person will be looking into. Person will be lean going. For them also the same association will bring them into normalcy. I said, don't do like this. You will be humiliated by person, but I did not do that. So anywhere in this world, either it could be over or under, correct or incorrect. Sugar level more or sugar level less. I have one problem on sugar. What is that? Sugar is always less. That's more, that is dangerous than having high sugar. I got to have breakfast and come, otherwise it becomes very difficult. The sugar level will be dropping very fast. Person can get into coma, cannot be recovered at all. That's a problem. Anywhere for that matter, BP, either it will be hyper, high BP or low BP. Either it will be overnourished or undernourished, overweight, underweight. All these maladies are happening because we are not properly doing. Same way accounting also. What is that? Either it will be over debit or under debit. Over credit or under credit. What is the remedy? You know the remedy. Identify the problem. Suggest remedy. That's all. What is that? Suggest remedy. Now I will give you an example. It becomes easier to give this sort of example. But proper example with problems in the institute material we have got to do. Number one, undercasting in sales day book. In sales day book, what and all will be recorded? Only credit sale will be recorded. Undercasting in sales day book, rupees 1500. 1500 rupees less they have taken into sales day book. Now inquire whether the error will cause difference in the trial balance. Yes or no? Now you have got to think. Under what head we have classified this? Casting error is coming under errors affecting the agreement of trial balance. It is not necessary that you should remember this classification. You by yourself visualize. If sales account were not taken to the fullest extent, less by 1500, to that extent your trial balance will not agree. Yes or no? Yes means what is that you should do? You have to use suspense account. In your back of your mind, you should always be keeping that. Yes, I got to use suspense account, but I do not know whether it is to be debited or credited because it is not following any rule. By default, I got to use suspense account. Okay, identify the problem. What is the problem? Sales day book, sales account is getting affected. Sales account is getting affected. What balance normally sales account will reflect? Credit. It is undercasting. That means the problem is under credit. Under credit. What is the remedy for that? What is the remedy for sales account? Credit. That's it. So I know that sales account should be credited. Credit sales by 1500. So what I have kept in my back of my mind, I have to put it in my front of my mind. What is that I should do? Debit suspense account. Debit suspense, credit sales. That's all. Yes or no? Are you clear, Sanjana? Are you clear, Soumya?
Yes, sir.
Soumya, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So undercasting in sales day book 1500. This is the journal entry. Yes or no? Example, another example. Overcasting in returns outward book rupees 9000. Return outwards book rupees 9000. on. So what is the first step which will be affecting trial balance? Suspense account shall be used to rectify. 2. What is the second one? It results in return outwards. Return outwards, what is the balance? It is return outwards, purchase returns. Product. So return outwards is over credited. Correct. Remedy is debit purchase returns. Credit suspense account. 9,000. Matter over. This is the reason as why I told you that don't put it under suspense account, don't put it under nominal, because it is by default you got to do. So therefore, by rectifying all the errors caused the disagreement, when you rectify them, trial balance will automatically agree. How come? The sales account which was undercast, purchase returns which were overcast, when they are all rectified, when the new figures are incorporated in the trial balance, there will be no place for suspense account. That you should remember. Correct. How about Sanjana and Soumya? Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So debit side of Mr. X is overcost by 91,000. Mr. X is a customer. Come on. First one, inquiry that you got to make. What is the inquiry that you got to make? Whether this error will cause difference in the trial balance. You got to say yes or no. Yes. This error. For the first few problems you got to write. See, after that I would just see it's not required. If you know how to pass journal entry, that is enough. This error and caused difference in trial balance. Difference in trial balance to suspense account shall be used. Suspense account shall be used. Then, what is the other account that is item that is to be taken up? Mr. X is a customer. A customer normally what balance he will reflect? Personal accounts where you cannot tell debit or credit generally. But here there is an indication to the effect that he is a customer. His balance will be showing debit. So because of this nature, that being a customer who would normally be having a debit balance. Okay, understand that. So don't argue a question. Argue in this fashion that will you not be having a customer account having credit balance? I don't have anything to defend. Yes, it may be a possibility. Can you just tell that the 11th batsman in a team, can you say he cannot score a century? He can. Whether a wicket keeper can bowl and get wicket? Yes, He has to take that role of a bowler and he can take the wicket. So what is the grim chance? What is the real chance that that will be happening? It will be less in frequency. Therefore, we take that sort of general understanding that customer account will be showing debit balance. The debit side of his account is overcast by 91,000. It is over debit. Remedy, yes. Credit X. That is debtor. So rectification is credit customer and debit suspense 91,000. Correct? Example. Next. Payment to Y, the supplier, is posted in the account of Y as rupees 15,000 instead of rupees 1,50,000. Payment to Y, the supplier, is posted in the account of Y as rupees 15,000 instead of rupees 1,50,000. However, the amount is recorded correct, is recorded correctly in the cash book, bank column. Come on. Yes, I would like all of you to participate. Soumya, Sanjana, Arvind, and Shreya, please. It will affect the trial balance. Posting error it is. Correct account, correct side. But where they went wrong, instead of in the amount, instead of recording 1,50,000, they have recorded 15,000. That's the problem. It will affect the agreement of trial balance. Posting error. Amount is wrong. So posting error, amount is wrong. Suspense account will be used. So people might have the feeling that, sir, when error is there, what is the problem? I will put this 0, 1 0 extra and finish it off. So then for that matter, any error for that matter, you can have eraser or whitener, do all this exercise. It's not possible. Once an account is prepared, it is all gone only. Say a judge, when he is passing an order, that's all. He cannot be just saying, no, please just get back. Umpire out means out. You may have a decision review system and all that. You may go for an appeal. That is all different. Given judgment means given. Entered 15,000, 15,000 only. People suggest, sir, why not I induct 10 with the space that you have? That sort of rectification, we are not going to take it up as a chapter at all. Correct? People might think we are not going to do that. Posting error, amount is wrong, suspense account shall be used. What is the problem? What is the malady? Malady is over credit or under credit, over debit, under debit. Come on. Hmm? So, post what you have given. Payment when you have just made, what is the entry that you have to pass? Debit that particular person. Credit bank account. You have under debited. You have under debited. What is the remedy? Debit. Debit Y. So debit Y, credit, suspense account. For how much? 1,35,000. That is the way you got to look at. Example 4. Credit sale to Z is entered into purchases day book rupees 45,000. Credit sale to Z is entered into purchase day book 45,000. Come on. Credit sale to Z is entered into the purchase day book 45,000. Yes, Sanjana, could you tell?
So whether it will affect the trial balance?
Could you repeat? Come again.
I mean, are you asking, is it affecting the trial balance?
You should only tell. Is this affecting the yes? Answer stage by stage. 1, 2, 3. All the 3 stage, you please take up for discussion.
Sir, it is wrong journal entry.
Hmm?
It is wrong journal entry.
So, Sanjana, the question is all about how do you rate this error as affecting the agreement of trial balance, not affecting the agreement of trial balance? How do you conclude? Come on. Have you understood the question?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Sir, wrong journal entry has been passed. So,
Sanjana, anything that you commit wrong only will result into error, and that is the matter that we are discussing. So question is, will this entry affect the agreement of trial balance or not? You got to say yes, it is affecting, or you have to say no, it is not affecting. That's it. You don't have the choice of telling it is a wrong journal entry. Understood?
yes, sir.
Right. It is like MCQ only I have just given you. How about Soumya? You can also participate.
Sir, it is posting error.
So you are telling that it is a posting error. So where is the
Sir.
question of posting comes there? When the original transaction itself is recorded in the wrong place. So you just see credit sale is entered into the purchase day book. Okay, Shreya, what is your answer for this? What do you say it is compensating? Where is the question of two or more errors? What are those second and the third error to say that it is compensating? How it is compensating? See, in order to say compensating, you should have two or more errors. So tell me those two errors. Say what is compensating error? Compensating error would mean two or more errors will negate the effect in the trial balance, will offset for a matching sum. So therefore, the presence of this error, those errors will not be felt, is what we have just understood as compensating error. Yes, Aravind. Hmm. Hmm. Now, I would just say you are not fully correct. I would just say it is a principle of original entry. Principle of original entry. So once it is entered in the purchases day book, whatever process that they will be doing for an entry in the purchase day book will normally be carried out is what you got to understand. Yes or no? So there is a cooker may not know whether in it sweet potato is there or potato is there. It will give the process. No, I like sweet potato. The cooker is not knowing about whether it is a sweet potato or potato. It will do its process. No, once an entry is made in purchase the book, what they do is that purchase account will be debited, party account will be credited. Understood? So that is what you should basically understand, that once an item is gone into the system, that will process as correct and it will process. So there you should not be thinking that they have committed correct credit to the party account and all that. One and only when they say that, however, Z's account was correctly credited, despite of entering into or correctly debited, despite entering into the purchase book. They have not shown that. So that means what is that you should understand? It will not be affecting the trial balance at all. Number one, it is a principle, that is, it is an error of origination. Instead of sale, it is processed as purchases. Instead of sale, it is processed as purchases, not affecting trial balance. Do not use suspense account What is the entry that you got to pass? Wrong entry to be reversed. Wrong entry is to be reversed. What is that? Debit Z credit purchases. 3. Correct entry is to be passed. Debit Z credit sales 45,000. 45,000. So if you compound it, it will be debit Z 90,000, credit purchases 45,000, credit sales 45,000. Are you understanding? It is not compensating. It is not posting error. So only when they say that despite this matter got entered into purchases the book, once it is entered into the purchase day book, in which side of the party's account it will be shown? It will be shown on the credit side. This is what we normally expect. But they say, despite entering into the purchase day book, the party's account was correctly debited, is what they will tell. Are you understanding? That point of time, even though it may be an error of origination, but further error they have committed. Error of an error resulted in correct debit to party's account. Because what will happen is that normally you find the party's account in sale, and when it is made, the accountant would have debited, despite having that matter entered into purchases day book. So the account to which it should be credited is sales. That account should be credited. The account that they have wrongly debited. Remedy for wrong debit is credit. So debit suspense, that point of time, suspense account will be used. Your debited purchases, debited parties account. Are you understanding, all of you? Shreya? Sanjana?
Yes, sir.
Soumya? Are you clear about this?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is the journal entry that you got to pass. You got to be very, very careful as what is a type of error. Type of error will decide upon whether the usage of suspense account is required or not. Example. A purchases of rupees 75,000 to Z is wrongly taken in sales day book. However, in Z's account, it was credited. It was credited as rupees 57,000. A purchase of rupees 75,000 to Z is wrongly taken in sales day book. However, in Z's account, it was credited as rupees 57,000. Multiple error. Come on. What is the type of error? error of origination, error of posting error also. Correct account, correct side also, but wrong amount. This will affect the agreement of trial balance, but not to the fullest extent, but to the extent of 18,000. Correct. So, will this affect the agreement of trial balance? Yes. Posting error with wrong amount will affect the agreement of trial balance. Number one. Error of origination. Error of origination. Comma. Posting error will affect trial balance to the extent of rupees 18,000. How come? 75,000 minus 57,000. What are the accounts that are getting affected? Purchases account getting affected, sales account getting affected, Z's account getting affected, and the suspense account also getting affected because we have opened a suspense account. Purchase account to what extent? 75,000. Sales account 75,000. Z's account 18,000. Suspense account 18,000. Correct. What has happened to the purchases account? Purchases account is under debited or over debited? Under debited. Sales account under debited or over debited, or under credited or over credited? Over credited. Z's account where it is over debited or under debited, over credited or under credited? Under credited. And suspense account. So there is no target number to say it is over or under. So not applicable. So what is the entry that you got to pass? Rectification entry that you got to pass. Come on. Debit purchases. Then debit sales. Correct? To the extent of 18,000 for posting error. Then credit Z's account 18,000, 75,000, 75,000, and credit suspense account. See, when I say 18,000, don't get the impression it is only 18,000. 18,000 for the extent of what? Posting error. What is the amount that you got to take up for the balance? 1 lakh. Is that clear? Now, what I would like you people to do is take up rectification topic and start working out any damn thing in our institute material. See, I've just not followed what is there in that particular order. So I'm just telling you, I am going on a straight line. Journal entry, ledger posting, trial balance, rectification. I'm just going in that. So all that realization concept, dual aspect concept, entity concept, all that we will learn a little later because it makes sense to understand what is a commercial transaction and working. Is it okay? So you just go by that particular thing and rest of the matter you can easily work it out. Okay. So what I will give you a clear instruction through WhatsApp as what sort of thing you got to do, because our class is just getting over. Now it is 10:30. So that madam will be just coming up. So I just don't want to encroach into her timing. Is it okay? Are you clear about this, Sanjana and Soumya?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Thank you. And I am closing it, and there is another link through which you have to take up onto economics class. Not the same link. I have sent 2 links. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.